Chapter 62. Beastmen will never be slaves. At this moment, Ling Fei, with a disciple in tow, walked over to the iron-eating beast. The iron-eating beast was quite close to this caretaker, and immediately began whining pitifully. Ling Fei gently patted its head, and then examined its body.
Iron-eating beasts are naturally lively. It exerted too much force during its frenzy and is now injured. It needs further treatment. Go bring my silver needles. I need to tend to its wounds,
Ling Fei said. He had lived his entire life for these spirit beasts. Though he had cultivated to soul transformation stage, he never learned any offensive secret arts. Instead, he specialized in calming the mind and healing techniques. Also, he can take better care of the spirit beasts. The iron-eating beast originally nodded obediently. But then, the surrounding spirit beasts' gloating voices rang out.
Hee hee. I want to see the iron-eating beast get poked.
Me too. It's rare to see it down on its luck.
But I've been pricked by the caretaker's needles, and it didn't seem to hurt.
It doesn't matter. I still want to see the show.
The spirit beasts all started chirping noisily. The iron-eating beast's expression visibly changed. Damn it! It didn't want to be the center of attention. It clutched the hem of Ling Fei's robe, whining pitifully. Ling Fei tried to sense what it was feeling. He had been able to understand beast speech since young. But spirit beasts and ordinary beasts were entirely different. The spirit beast's language was too complex. It was as if the heavenly Dao placed a barrier between spirit beast language and human language. A spirit beast had to reach fusion stage to be able to transform and speak human words. Before that, no matter how much one studied, the two languages were not mutually intelligible. This can only be explained as a restriction of the heavenly Dao. Although Ling Fei is capable of simple communication with spirit beasts, he couldn't truly understand what they said. He can only infer meaning based on their behavior and emotions. Just like now, he could sense fear and anxiety from the iron-eating beast. Ling Fei assumed it was afraid of being pricked by needles, and gently patted its head.
Don't worry, my technique is very good. It won't hurt at all.
The iron-eating beast grew even more anxious.
That's not the problem. I just don't want them watching.
But to Ling Fei, these were all meaningless sounds. He could only sense the beast's growing panic, and patiently continued to soothe it. Soon, the disciple returned with the silver needles. The iron-eating beast cried out even more frantically. Ling Fei could only say,
Iron-eating beast, your injuries are serious and must be treated right away. Otherwise you may suffer lasting damage. Be good, I'll be gentle. I promise it won't hurt.
Seeing that it couldn't communicate with him, the little iron-eating beast flopped onto the ground, and began rolling around. Woo 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 woo. Even as a spirit beast, it has its own pride. It would rather die than let the others watch. Seeing its stubbornness, the other spirit beasts tried to persuade it.
Iron-eating beast, we were just joking. Be good and get treated. We promise not to laugh.
Yeah, being hurt is really painful.
A bunch of spirit beasts chimed in to comfort it. But the iron-eating beast grew inexplicably more stubborn, twisting and turning, refusing to yield. It waved its little paws and shouted,
Beastmen will never be slaves. I, the great iron-eating beast, shine upon all things. I, the iron-eating beast, will never surrender.
Yunjing listened to these over-the-top catchphrases and chuckled. That's it. No need to choose anymore. This iron-eating beast was clearly tailor-made for her. Her eyes lit up, and she walked forward.
Junior sister Yin.
The disciple accompanying her panicked.
Senior, Yin doesn't like strangers getting close to the spirit beasts.
Even though Ling Fei granted Yunjin the permission to choose any spirit beast, the proper procedure was to go step by step, not barging in like this. Ling Fei heard the commotion and looked over. Seeing it was Yunjin, he paused and said,
Wait for a moment. I'll come see you after I finish treating these spirit beasts.
Senior Ning,
Yunjin said with a smile.
Since I'm about to form a contract with a spirit beast, I should learn how to take care of them first. Why not let me help you this time?
Her offer to help demonstrated her serious attitude towards her future spirit beast. Ling Fei's initial displeasure at her sudden approach faded. He thought for a moment and said,
That's fine too. I'm about to treat this iron-eating beast with needles. You can watch.
That said, he was also a bit troubled. If the iron-eating beast keeps throwing a tantrum, it would slow things down. Seeing someone new approach, the iron-eating beast grunted twice.
What the skinny human! I can flatten 10 of you with one punch.
Yunjin pretended not to hear. She asked.
Senior Ni, may I have a word with it?
Ling Fei hesitated, then agreed, thinking that since he's watching over them anyway, it should be fine. Yunjin smiled, slightly bent down, and approached the iron-eating beast. For some reason, the iron-eating beast suddenly grew nervous, its body tensing up. Yunjin leaned close to its ear and whispered very softly.
Beastmen will never be slaves.
The iron-eating beast.
8.
It instantly stopped throwing a tantrum and stared at Yunjin with a completely stunned expression. When it met Yunjin's half-smiling gaze, a wave of shame surged over. The iron-eating beast was about to cry. It doesn't understand. How could this human understand beast language? Saying those things to other childish spirit beast companions made it look cool and powerful. But if a human heard those words, it just felt a bit cringy. The iron-eating beast flipped over, planting its face flat on the ground. Guys, who can understand this pain? The mighty iron-eating beast completely doesn't want to meet anyone. Ling Fei paused at the iron-eating beast's strange reaction. He looked at Yunjin in surprise.
You seem to have said something to it.
Out of politeness, he didn't eavesdrop. But now, he was truly curious.
Not much. It's just a bit shy. When I got close, I felt like I could hear the voice in its heart. It said, Beast.
Before Yunjin could finish, the iron-eating beast suddenly sat upright, and even gave Ling Fei an urging look. Hurry up and give it the shot. It would rather get the shot than die of embarrassment. Now Ling Fei was genuinely stunned. He couldn't help but glance at Yunjin. What exactly did this disciple do to be able to make the iron-eating beast so obedient?
Xiaojin, what did you hear it say?
Ling Fei quickly asked. Yunjin's smile grew even more radiant. She glanced at the iron-eating beast. It looked utterly dejected. It's over. Social death was now inevitable. But in the next moment, it heard the human say.
It seems it wants to get the shot in a private room. It felt embarrassed being treated in front of so many other spirit beasts.
So that's what it was!
Ling Fei understood. The iron-eating beast looked at Yunjin's smiling face. Yunjin grinned back at it. The iron-eating beast suddenly lowered its head in slight embarrassment. This human. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all. Chapter 63 Miracle reappears.
Shall we go to a smaller room to do the treatment?
Ling Fei confirmed once again. The iron-eating beast glanced at Yunjin, then shyly nodded its head. Ling Fei couldn't help but give Yunjin an astonished look. Did this girl truly sense the iron-eating beast's thoughts? This was simply a natural-born beast-taming genius. There were too many tasks to complete, so Ling Fei didn't have time to ask more questions. But the way he viewed Yunjin completely changed. Once he calmed these spirit beasts down, he would definitely ask how Yunjin understood them. Inside the small room, the iron-eating beast became very cooperative. Ling Fei's acupuncture healing technique was extremely precise, and he quickly treated its internal injuries. The little iron-eating beast happily rubbed against Ling Fei, showing a content expression. Ling Fei looked at it gently and patted its head.
Alright, go rest well.
The iron-eating beast obediently nodded its head. Yunjin had watched the whole process, and felt even more admiration for this old man. He had truly devoted his whole life to these spirit beasts. Every single beast here saw him as family, and relied on him deeply. For this old man, that was probably the best reward.
You'll have to wait a bit longer. I still have other spirit beasts to treat.
Ling Fei said apologetically after settling the iron-eating beast.
If you don't want to wait, you can come back tomorrow. I'll be here all day waiting for you.
Senior Nim,
Yunjin took the initiative to say.
I think I can vaguely sense some emotions from the spirit beasts. Maybe I can help. Please let me accompany you?
The look in Ling Fei's eyes shifted slightly. If Yunjin said this right from the start, he wouldn't have believed a single word. After all, the talent for communicating with spirit beasts is incredibly rare. Even if one had it, they need constant training and refinement to truly be able to communicate with spirit beasts. Yunjing is a new disciple. Before today, she had no way of interacting with spirit beasts. If she suddenly said she could communicate with them, wasn't that just nonsense? But with the example of the iron-eating beast in front of him, Ling Fei thought for a moment, then nodded.
Very well, you may follow me.
He brought Yunjin to the next group of spirit beasts. It was a group of 5 bright light beasts. All 5 had more or less sustained injuries. At the moment, they were quietly licking their wounds. Ling Fei sensed their emotional states. Overall, the group's emotions were fairly stable. Except for the smallest one, who seemed a little depressed. Ling Fei began treating the stable bright light beasts, first while gently trying to soothe the little one's emotions with spiritual energy. Yunjing looked at the small bright light beast, curled up in the corner, her expression shifting slightly. The group of bright light beasts was chatting, and their words were clearly heard in her ears.
Ha, little sister, don't be sad. That lightning beast isn't worthy of you.
Exactly. There are so many spirit beasts here. With your beauty, you could get anyone you want.
It's just a lightning beast. So what if he looks powerful and imposing? So what if his attributes match ours? I'm saying this now. Our little sister doesn't need him.
Right. She'll definitely find someone better.
The little bright light beast spoke weakly.
Someone better? Like who?
The bright light beasts suddenly all fell silent. The little one sniffled and almost burst into tears. Woo woo woo. So the lightning beast really was the best. Ling Fei glanced at the little bright light beast, stunned by her sudden sadness. Was this the famous a woman's heart is like a needle at the bottom of the sea? Even female spirit beasts are like this. Ling Fei tried to comfort her, but to no avail. For now, he could only proceed with treating the little bright light beast's injuries. Its wounds weren't severe, and once treated, they visibly improved. But its mood remained extremely downcast. Ling Fei couldn't help but feel a little troubled. Suddenly, something came to mind. He asked Yunjin.
Xiaojin, perhaps you can sense something.
The moment he spoke, he let out a bitter laugh. He really was grasping at straws in desperation. Yunjin being able to guess the iron-eating beast's thoughts was already a miracle. How could he expect her to replicate that miracle? Yunjin smiled and said,
Senior Ni, I'm not certain yet, but I'd like to ask if there are any lightning beasts in this area.
The little bright light beast immediately looked up at Yunjin. Yunjin winked at her. The little bright light beast quickly lowered her head in embarrassment. Ling Fei was a bit surprised at Yunjin's sudden question but replied,
I only have one lightning beast, but it's at the foundation establishment stage and normally isn't in this area.
Oh,
Yunjin looked surprised.
then when did this little bright light beast see it?
How did you know they've met?
Ling Fei was startled, then explained.
The areas aren't entirely separate. Sometimes I take them out to the back mountain for some fresh air. Last time, this bright light beast was together with that lightning beast. Why, did the lightning beast bully it? It didn't seem so. Last time, the little bright light beast was clinging to it.
As Ling Fei spoke, the little bright light beast became anxious. Roar, 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 roar. He didn't bully me. Yunjin smiled and said,
There's no bullying. Senior, would you be willing to take me to meet that lightning beast? I have a few things I want to ask.
Ling Fei was completely confused, but seeing how confident Yunjin was, he nodded in agreement. The little bright light beast looked at Yunjin, slightly worried. Yunjin reassured.
Don't worry, I'll help you find out. If it really doesn't work out, we girls know when to hold on and when to let go.
The little bright light beast didn't completely understand, but still nodded. Ling Fei observed the interaction between Yunjin and the spirit beast with an odd expression. Why did it feel like she could understand what the spirit beast was saying? If she's truly capable of that, what an extraordinary beast-taming talent. Are those from the 4 Holy Lands also capable of this? Probably not. Suppressing his shock, Ling Fei led Yunjin to the area where the Foundation Establishment spirit beasts were kept. Several Foundation Establishment spirit beasts were also affected this time, but they had all been treated and were now resting. Following Ning Fei, Yunjing immediately saw the lightning beast, flamboyantly grooming its fur.
This is the one!
Ling Fei said, stepping aside. He was really curious on how Yunjing was going to communicate with it.
Senior Ning,
Yunjing said with an apologetic smile.
this is the little bright light beast's private matter. It probably doesn't want you to know, so could I trouble you not to eavesdrop?
Ling Fei?
All right.
He reluctantly blocked off his hearing. Since he couldn't hear anything, all Ling Fei could see was Yunjing seemingly saying something to the lightning beast. Then she suddenly reached out and plucked a tuft of fur from it. Surprisingly, the lightning beast didn't resist. After receiving the fur, Yunjing waved at Ling Fei.
Senior, we can go back now.
Ling Fei held back his curiosity and walked with Yunjing back to the tea refining area. Then, Yunjing gave him another apologetic glance. Ling Fei? Wu got it. He understood. All right. Fine, he'll continue to block off his hearing. He was feeling incredibly wronged. Why were the children he had painstakingly raised suddenly keep secrets from him? Ling Fei didn't know what Yunjing said, but he could see the little bright light beast's mood visibly brighten, which made him even more jealous. Is his status as their father figure already being threatened? Chapter 64. Sorry, I already have a beast I like.
Alright, that's what he meant. Once you reach the foundation establishment stage, you can deepen your relationship. For now, it can only give you a tuft of fur as a keepsake.
Yunjing said. The little bright light beast carefully put away the fur, looking extremely joyful. Yunjing couldn't help but added.
However, I think there are so many male beasts in the world, you really don't need to hang yourself on this one tree. When I was talking to that lightning beast, I noticed several female beasts looking over. I suspect it might be a scumbag.
Impossible. Even if he had other beasts before, once he's with me, it won't pay attention to them anymore.
The bright light beast cried out. Yunjing couldn't decide whether to laugh or cry. All right. Love brains really transcend species. If nothing unexpected happens, she would be coming to the Spirit Beast Pavilion often in the future. As for this bright light beast, she would keep a close eye on it. After all, these sea-refining spirit beasts were intellectually equivalent to 7- or 8-year-old children. They're the future of the nation, she should protect them if she could. Yunjin let out a sigh. Taming beasts really seemed a bit like being a kindergarten teacher. A bunch of little kids chattering nonstop. And she had to carefully nurture their tender little hearts, offering timely emotional support to prevent depression. It's hard. Way too hard.
Senior, it's done?
Yunjing waved. Ling Fei looked at her with a bit of grievance.
What exactly were you two talking about?
Yunjing gave a cheeky laugh.
It's a secret?
The secrets of little kids should be protected. Ling Fei puffed out his beard and glared. He could only swallow his frustrations.
Let's go next group.
Ling Fei said with a hint of bitterness. There weren't many spirit beasts left to care for. With Yunjing and a few other disciples helping, they quickly finished up. Once all the spirit beasts were comfortably lying down, Ling Fei raised his brows and said,
As I promised before, you're free to choose any spirit beast to form a contract with. Your current cultivation is Foundation Establishment. You can form a contract with either Tsi Refining or Foundation Establishment spirit beasts. Spirit beasts with higher cultivation can't be contracted for now. You also followed me around, so tell me, did any of the spirit beasts catch your eye? If not in this area, I'll take you to the Foundation Establishment area to have a look.
When Ning Fei said this, all Tsi Refining spirit beasts instantly perked up their ears. Ling Fei might still be unsure, but they were certain. This human could understand their language. And not only that, she was good-looking and spoke gently. They all yearned for the outside world, but were afraid of ending up with a bad owner, like the iron-eating beast. But if it was this girl, maybe she wouldn't be so bad. The group of spirit beasts immediately began chattering noisily.
Pick me! I can grow big! I'm really powerful! Pick me! Pick me! My farts can knock out a whole group of people?
Pei, your skills are all useless. I can breathe fire. My combat power is amazing.
Ling Fei couldn't understand what the spirit beasts were saying, but seeing them all bickering with flushed faces, he couldn't help but be stunned. In the past, other sect disciples also came to choose spirit beasts. But each of the chosen spirit beasts were extremely cautious. If they didn't go through 99 trials of hardships, they wouldn't easily agree to a contract. Now that it was Yunqin, things were different. The spirit beasts didn't have any requirements and didn't set any trials. Instead, they fought to be picked by her. If the previous disciples saw this, they would probably cough up 3 liters of blood on the spot. While the group of spirit beasts argued, the iron-eating beast silently turned its head to face the wall. Shameful. Its companions were so shameful. After everything it went through, they still didn't get it. There wasn't a single good one among humans. This woman can't be any better. Even if she did sign a contract with it, the moment she found out it wasn't strong enough, she would toss it aside without hesitation. The iron-eating beast, already saw through this fake world. It never wants to leave the spirit beast pavilion for the rest of its life. Lingfei was surprised by this scene and said with a wry smile,
I was originally going to say, although I promised you could choose one, it still requires the spirit beast's approval. But now it looks like there's no need to say that. You can pick whoever you like. They all seem pretty eager.
Lingfei's tone was rather sour, like a father giving away his daughter who didn't even look back once. Yunjin smiled.
Thank you all for your support. But for now I can only contract one, and in my heart, I already have a beast I want to contract.
The eyes of all the spirit beasts immediately became more hopeful. The iron-eating beast snorted coldly. Look at this group of hopeless fellows. The iron-eating beast, is different. Even if this human knelt and begged for a contract, it still wouldn't agree. What it said still stands. Beastmen will never be slaves.
I want to contract with the iron-eating beast.
Yunjin's clear voice rang out the next moment. Iron-eating beast.
Huh?
Its fur visibly trembled, thinking it had misheard her.
I think the iron-eating beast is very cute.
Yunjin said with a smile.
I want to invite it to be my companion, but I don't know if it's willing.
The iron-eating beast froze. It didn't hear wrong. This woman actually chose it. How should it put this? It kind of felt a little pleased. This woman actually had decent taste. But the iron-eating beast, already saw through this world. It would never leave the spirit beast pavilion. Lingfei looked at the iron-eating beast facing the wall, and hesitated.
Xiaojin, any of the other spirit beasts would be fine. This one doesn't seem too willing.
Yeah, it's not willing. Don't worry about it, Xiaojin.
I'm really obedient, really cute, and really willing.
The other spirit beasts started chattering again. The iron-eating beast gnashed its teeth. Traitors, fawning over humans for their favor. Unworthy of being beasts.
How about choosing a different one?
Lingfei tried to persuade her.
This iron-eating beast was abandoned once before, so it's especially wary of humans. It likely won't agree to leave with you.
The iron-eating beast's body stiffened for a moment, but it didn't say anything. If this woman walked away now, it might feel just a little bit sad. But rather than be hurt again, it was better to remain a free and unrestrained little beast. Yunjin looked at the iron-eating beast's back, and said softly,
Being abandoned by a human isn't its fault, it's that human's fault. Once you decide to sign a contract with a spirit beast, you made a promise to be partners. To me, a partner is someone you must never abandon. If it's willing to form a contract with me, we'll work hard and grow stronger together.
The iron-eating beast trembled violently, but still didn't turn around. Yunjin continued.
By the way, wasn't the human who abandoned it a disciple of Tenshin sect? Didn't he think the iron-eating beast wasn't strong enough? If I sign a contract with the iron-eating beast, I'll train it to be the strongest in the world. And then I'll walk it past that disciple on purpose so he can regret it so much he bangs his head on the wall every day.
The iron-eating beast's eyes lit up. That sounded kind of awesome.
Senior, if it still doesn't want to, let's just leave it at that. I also don't want to choose another spirit beast for now. Maybe I'll just focus on my cultivation, and come back to pick one when I have more time.
Yunjin said. Lingfei was stunned.
When would that be?
No idea. Could be 1 year, 2 years, maybe 10.
Yunjin replied. That long. Lingfei was about to say something, when the iron-eating beast suddenly turned around with a whoosh. Chapter 65. Initiating the contract. Yunjin pretended not to see anything and continued.
Today the iron-eating beast doesn't like me, so I won't force it either. Senior Nin Fei, your good intentions have gone to waste. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave now.
Lin Fei didn't have time to react. He listened in a daze, then opened his mouth in an attempt to convince Yunjing otherwise. But Yunjing was very firm and turned to leave. Seeing this human really intended to leave, the iron-eating beast became anxious. With a speed that didn't match its round and plump body, it darted forward and grabbed onto Yunjing's pants leg.
Iron-eating beast?
Yunjing's lips curled into a barely noticeable smile. She deliberately put on a surprised expression and said,
Are you here to say goodbye to me? I understand. Thank you.
The iron-eating beast became even more anxious. This human looked quite pretty. But why did her brain seem slow? The noble iron-eating beast was already right in front of her. Couldn't she at least plead a little more? She should beg a bit, and then it would reluctantly agree, unable to refuse her any longer. The iron-eating beast frantically shot glances at Yunjin, hoping she would catch on. At least give it some promises, give it a way out. After all, beastmen will never be slaves, unless room and board are included. Yunjin pretended not to understand. She patted the iron-eating beast's head and said,
Alright, I know you like freedom. Don't worry, I won't force you.
The iron-eating beast got even more flustered. What? She's giving up this easily. What is wrong with this woman? She doesn't understand persistence at all. At least make an effort.
Alright, let go of me. In 8 or 10 years we're bound to meet again someday.
Yunjin said. 10 years? 8 years? The iron-eating beast showed an expression, as if it had been struck by lightning. It looked at Yunjin pitifully. Seeing that she still didn't get the message, it had no choice but to speak up.
Then, will you provide food and shelter?
Yunjin raised an eyebrow.
Isn't that the bare minimum?
You also said you'd take me to find my former master.
The iron-eating beast reminded. Yunjin looked confused.
That was under the condition that we form a contract. If you don't sign a contract with me, it wouldn't be right for me to trouble someone for no reason.
The iron-eating beast looked at Yunjin with deep grievance. It had made itself so obvious already. Why can't this woman understand? The iron-eating beast had changed its mind. But looking at Yunjin's clueless face, the iron-eating beast completely gave up. Fine, fine. If the master is a bit dim-witted, then so be it. It would just take the initiative. The iron-eating beast suddenly extended its paw, then bit down hard on it. Yunjin's eyes moved slightly. The next moment, a drop of blood welled up from the center of the beast's paw, and floated in front of Yunjin. After doing this, the iron-eating beast kept urging her with its eyes.
It's trying to initiate a contract with you.
Lin Fei said hurriedly.
Xiaojin, you also need to force out a drop of blood and merge it with its blood.
Yunjin nodded. She didn't tease the little iron-eating beast any longer, and quickly forced a drop of blood from her fingertip. The 2 drops of blood merged in mid-air. The originally red blood, once fused, turned golden. Originally, when forming a contract, Lin Fei would assist with the process. But this time, Lin Fei did nothing. He simply watched the little iron-eating beast, with a hint of emotion in his eyes. It was casting one hand seal after another, taking the initiative to establish the contract. When a spirit beast initiates the contract, it starts and completes the bond itself. Such contracts are more stable and stronger than those formed with external help. However, if the spirit beast is abandoned, the consequences are much more severe. At best, its power would decline. At worst, it could lose its life. After being abandoned once, the iron-eating beast still chose to initiate a contract with Yunjin. For the iron-eating beast, this meant bearing tremendous emotional pressure. With the iron-eating beast taking the initiative, the contract was formed. Yunjin vaguely felt a mysterious bond forming between her and the iron-eating beast.
Senior Nin,
You ask?
is the contract complete? This seems different from what I heard about signing contracts with spirit beasts.
Lin Fei sighed lightly and softly explained to Yunjin.
Normally, when I mediate the contract, it would be an equal agreement. Either party can choose to terminate the contract later, paying a certain price to do so safely. But now that the iron-eating beast initiated the contract with you, the restrictions aren't as extreme as a master-servant contract. But from now on, it won't be able to choose to leave you on its own.
He paused for a moment, then added.
But you can still choose to abandon it. If you do, the contract will backfire on it. In severe cases, it could die.
Yunjin's eyes flashed with a hint of surprise. In her past life, she never had the chance to form a contract with a spirit beast, so she didn't know these things. Later, she traveled through many worlds, including those with beast taming systems, but every world had different rules. It was only through Lin Fei's explanation that she realized how much risk the iron-eating beast took to form this contract with a human. Yunjin gazed gently toward the iron-eating beast.
Iron-eating beast, do you really trust me that much?
The little iron-eating beast felt a bit embarrassed under her gaze and turned around, leaving her with its thick back. Yunjin let out a soft laugh and warmly said,
Don't worry. Now that the contract is formed, I'll never break the contract nor abandon you. You are the spirit beast I've chosen. Naturally, you'll stand with me at the peak.
The little iron-eating beast didn't turn back. It wasn't sure what the result of this impulsive decision would be. But it was too late to regret it now. It could only trust this new master. Lin Fei patted the little iron-eating beast's head and said to Yunjin,
It doesn't have a name yet. Remember to give it one later.
Yunjin nodded in agreement.
There are also some things to take note of when raising an iron-eating beast. I'll give you a manual later. Study it carefully. The iron-eating beast also has a few commonly used items. Take those with you as well.
Lin Fei busily gathered a large pile of items. Yunjin expressed her thanks and stored them into her storage pouch. Lastly, Lin Fei took out a bottle of beast milk and said,
I'll give this to you.
Senior Liu, you must have known I was thirsty and specially prepared this for me?
Yunjin said, a little moved. Senior Ning was so thoughtful. She really adored him. Not wanting to let this kindness go to waste, Yunjin took the bottle, twisted off the cap, and took a sip. Lin Fei was stunned. The little iron-eating beast was also stunned. It let out a cry, jumped up, and snatched the milk back.
That's mine, it's my milk.
The little iron-eating beast shouted angrily. Yunjin, is that so? This feels a bit awkward. Lin Fei coughed lightly twice and said,
This child is still young, technically only 6 years old. It has to drink some milk every day, especially before bed. If it doesn't drink it, it won't sleep. Make sure to give it some every day. Also, this milk was previously provided by the Spirit Beast Pavilion. Now that you have formed a contract, you'll have to find it yourself. I've given you enough for 3 days. After that, you'll have to handle it on your own.
I understand.
Yunjin replied, her lips twitching a little. By her ear, the iron-eating beast was still ranting furiously.
My milk! Woo woo woo! I've never seen a master fighting with their spirit beast over milk before. Is it too late to regret this now?
Chapter 66. Iron-eating beast, Gun. Lin Fei gave instructions for quite a while before finally letting the person and beast leave. The iron-eating beast was still muttering, seemingly complaining about something. Yunjin was holding the back of its neck, replying helplessly. Watching the two interact, Lin Fei couldn't help but smile slightly. This iron-eating beast actually wasn't suited to stay at the Spirit Beast Pavilion. Some spirit beasts are naturally fond of stability and peaceful lives. But the little iron-eating beast was different. When it first arrived, it longed for the outside world. So, when it met a young disciple, and chatted together for a bit, it was attracted by the way the outside world was described, and followed him without hesitation. At that time, Lin Fei tried to warn it. After all, it was still too young and might not be able to handle it. But the iron-eating beast was determined. So Lin Fei had no choice but to let it go. As a result, after contracting the iron-eating beast, the disciple was initially intrigued, but later complained that it was too young and hard to care for, and that it wasn't strong enough compared to other spirit beasts. Just a few months later, he returned the iron-eating beast to the Spirit Beast Pavilion. The iron-eating beast had always been mischievous, and after being abandoned, it became even more unruly. Lin Fei knew it was upset, and didn't know how to express it, so he did his best to comfort it. Unfortunately, the effect was minimal. Ever since then, every time a new disciple came to choose a spirit beast, the iron-eating beast's mood would become unstable. It seemed both envious and disdainful. Sometimes, Ling Fei really didn't know what to do. With this kind of personality, the iron-eating beast was more suited to roaming outside. If it stayed too long in the spirit beast pavilion, it would eventually become depressed. But if he let it leave with just anyone, he feared it would get hurt again. The iron-eating beast also seemed especially wary of humans. This time, Ling Fei was finally at ease. The iron-eating beast had taken the initiative to form a contract with Yunjin, which meant it had some initial trust in her. He trusted his judgment of people. Yunjin definitely wasn't the type who would casually abandon a spirit beast. This person and beast should get along well. Ling Fei looked forward to that. After arguing 800 times along the way, Yunjin and the iron-eating beast finally returned to Heavenly Sword Peak. At the entrance to the room, Gu Jinghong stood there looking pale.
Stand up straight. What's with that face? Who are you trying to depress?
Yunjin snorted coldly. Gu Jinghong. He tried hard to squeeze out a smile. Yunjin was even more displeased.
Why do you look so ugly? Wait outside, I'll scold you later.
Inside the room, the members of Heavenly Sword Peak were waiting for her. When they saw the iron-eating beast in Yunjin's hand, Si Wanning's eyes lit up, and she immediately took the iron-eating beast.
Xiaojing, you have great taste. This iron-eating beast is so cute.
Yunjin could only sigh. In such a short time, she already discovered that this little iron-eating beast was clearly a brat. A brat with Chunabu. But once it was in Si Wanning's arms, the iron-eating beast suddenly became well-behaved. It sat obediently like a little cutie. Si Wanning loved it even more, her eyes full of envy.
I really want a spirit beast too.
If you still dare go to the spirit beast pavilion, then be my guest.
Yue Zhao said lazily. Si Wanning's expression stiffened. In truth, every disciple of Tianxing sect dreams of having a spirit beast. Si Wanning was no exception. From the moment she entered the sect, she frequently went to the spirit beast pavilion. Unfortunately,
Eldest senior brother, what do you mean by that? Sounds like there's a story.
Yunjin asked with interest.
It's nothing.
Si Wanning tried to gloss over it. But Yue Zhao already began telling the tale in vivid detail.
It's nothing. The first time your second senior sister went to the spirit beast pavilion, she told a timid water spirit rabbit that she wanted to take it out to fight people. She scared the rabbit into crying.
Si Wanning defended herself.
How was I supposed to know it was that timid?
Senior Ying kicked her out on the spot. But maybe he thought she meant no harm, so a few days later, when she went again, he still let her in. This time, she did her homework. She found out that flame-burst mice were aggressive and bold, more suited for her. So she went to a group of flame-burst mice and bragged, saying she would lead them to roam the world.
Could there still be a problem this time?
Not just to Yunjin. Even the iron-eating beast pricked up its ears in curiosity. Yue Zhao chuckled.
The flame-burst mice weren't scared, but she provoked them too much. A dozen flame-burst mice ended up fighting on the spot over who would contract with her. As a result, several were injured.
Huh. Si Wanning felt guilty. She didn't expect these spirit beasts to be so easily provoked.
Senior Ling Fei kicked her out again. This time, he directly issued a ban, and she's been barred from the spirit beast pavilion ever since.
Yue Zhao said, sounding rather schadenfreude. Yunjin couldn't help but ask curiously.
Senior brother, what about you? Do you have a spirit beast?
Yue Zhao shook his head and explained to Yunjin.
Spirit beasts aren't that easy to raise. Cultivating a spirit beast requires a lot of resources. Otherwise, if the spirit beast's cultivation is too low, it won't be of any help. Our Heavenly Sword Peak is still relatively poor. Raising a Qi refining or foundation establishment spirit beast is fine, but anything higher is a bit unaffordable. But to me now, Qi refining and foundation establishment spirit beasts won't be of much help. I don't have the time to take care of them either. I know my limits, so I never applied for a spirit beast.
Si Wanning raised spirit beasts with a pet-like mindset, so it didn't matter much. Yue Zhao was more pragmatic. Raising a spirit beast to nascent soul stage or higher required a massive investment of resources and effort, which he simply couldn't afford.
Training spirit beasts is a field of study, and a profound one at that.
Lin Ya said calmly.
There are 4 great holy lands in this world. For combat, there's the Kunlun sword sect. For profound techniques, the Qingxiao pavilion. For alchemy, the Xuandan sect. The last holy land is the beast taming sect. The disciples of the beast taming sect have their own unique taming techniques. Their spirit beasts often have higher combat strength than they do. With a wave of the hand, a swarm of spirit beasts can be summoned to attack all at once. Under the same cultivation, this fighting style is extremely underhanded. You think you're facing one beast taming sect disciple, but in truth, they're carrying an entire beast army. But that's the beast taming sect. They have inherited techniques and special secret arts, designed for coordination with spirit beasts. For disciples of other sects, raising a high-rank spirit beast is extremely difficult. Your iron-eating beast is currently only at the Qi refining stage. Raising it to a higher level won't happen overnight. By the time it reaches foundation establishment, you may already be at golden core stage. And then a foundation establishment spirit beast won't be of much use anymore.
Yunjing nodded. She understood. But she didn't feel it was a problem. So it's difficult to raise. Let it be. She could make spirit stones from alchemy, and she has a super simplification system to help her. No matter what, the iron-eating beast could be raised. Yunjing wasn't worried at all. But the iron-eating beast, listening to this, tensed up. Last time it was abandoned, it was because its former master disliked that it couldn't quickly become stronger. This time, would it be abandoned again? Unaware of the little iron-eating beast's tension, Yunjing said seriously.
Speaking of this, I've thought of something very important.
The iron-eating beast had been sitting on Si Wanying's lap. But now it couldn't help but lean its body forward. What to do? What to do? Is this woman having regrets? Is it going to be abandoned again? The little iron-eating beast looked like it was about to cry from feeling wronged. The next moment, it heard Yunjing say,
Let's give it a name.
The iron-eating beast. Huh. That's it. Its center of gravity shifted too much, and it tumbled to the ground, rolling a couple of times. That was kind of embarrassing. But Master Iron-Eating Beast didn't panic at all. It quickly sat up and pretended like nothing happened. Yunjing assumed it was being mischievous and sighed.
It's so naughty, let's call it Guangguan.
Chapter 67. Testing for second-rank alchemist, Guangguan, the iron-eating beast refuses. That name wasn't mighty, nor domineering, completely unworthy of its image.
Change it! Change it!
The iron-eating beast kept shouting. Yunjing also thought she should respect the child's own opinion.
Do you have any ideas yourself?
The iron-eating beast perked up instantly.
My name will be Devourer, the proud, invincible, unrivaled, heavenly emperor.
After saying that, the iron-eating beast looked at Yunjing with a face full of expectation. That name is quite good. Master would surely be blown away by its naming talent. Yunjing was silent for a moment. Then, she nodded.
So you really do like the name Guangguan? Then it's settled.
What freedom. Bratty kids don't deserve that. To save it from future social death when it grows up, better help it forget about it. Guangguan.
When did I say I liked it? Wait, if it's really not okay, then let's go with heaven-devouring tyrant, devourer heavenly emperor, devourer of realms.
Yunjing looked at Guangguan's flailing and still smiled.
Whoa, you're so excited. Sure enough, you really like this name. I'm glad.
Guangguan is really a good name. Look how happy the iron-eating beast is,
said Lin Ya.
No. Look again carefully. Where do I look happy?
Yue Zhao.
It really did suddenly get a lot livelier.
Guangguan.
This is me protesting.
Si Wanning beamed.
Guangguan, Guangguan. It rolls off the tongue so well. Guangguan, come into my arms.
For some reason, Guangguan subconsciously walked over. Si Wanning hugged it and gave it a good rub. Then said contentedly.
It came right away when called. It definitely likes this name.
Guangguan's body stiffened. That's not it. I wasn't.
What do iron-eating beasts usually like to eat?
Si Wanning asked while rubbing it.
San Yerning gave me a booklet, Let me check what it says.
Yunjin said as she flipped through it.
Iron-eating beasts are omnivores. Their favorite is various kinds of bamboo, followed by some fruits and vegetables. They also don't reject meat.
Gungun, as a spirit beast, was much stronger than the mortal beasts Yunjin had encountered in that other world, and was also more convenient to care for. Basically, as long as something contained spiritual energy, it could eat it.
The most important thing is milk. Beast milk.
The iron-eating beast added. Yunjin chuckled.
Right, and the milk. Senior Noon provided 3 days' worth of milk and food. After that, we'll have to buy it ourselves.
Uttered.
That's simple. There are shops in the marketplace that sell food for spirit beasts. When I go, I'll bring some back.
It was only a qi-refining spirit beast. It wouldn't consume much. Besides, with Yunjin's pills, they wouldn't be short on money for long. Speaking of the market, Yunjin seemed to remember something, and said,
Send your brother, take me with you when you go. I need to visit the pill pavilion.
You're going to the pill pavilion. Are you planning to exchange knowledge with the alchemists there?
Yue Zhao asked curiously. Yunjin shook her head.
No, I'm going to test for the second-rank alchemist certification.
Everyone. The silence in that moment was deafening. Well, that's what it means to be a master. Lin Ya lightly coughed, recovering first. He smiled and said,
Xiaojing is already at foundation establishment, so she does meet the minimum spiritual power requirement to become a second-rank alchemist. If she wants to try, let her try, who knows? Maybe one day she'll pass. Ha ha ha.
The room echoed with only Lin Ya's laughter. Looking at Yunjin's blinking eyes, Lin Ya's laughter gradually faded. He asked, a little unsteadily,
You're not just trying this casually, are you?
Yunjin immediately showed a disappointed expression.
Master, how could you have such a horrifying idea? Taking the exam costs spirit stones. Even though you have a disciple who knows how to refine pills, that's no reason to be so extravagant. You want me to casually sign up and throw away spirit stones, just for a try? How could you think something so terrible?
Huh. Who's the real horrifying one here? Him or his little disciple? She actually wanted to seriously test for a second-rank alchemist certification. It hadn't even been that long since she passed the first-rank alchemist exam. Did she really have to go this far? Yue Zhao had a stronger tolerance than Lin Ya. He asked,
Little junior sister, how confident are you this time?
Yunjin looked utterly confident.
10 out of 10?
She already simplified the pill recipes. There was no chance she would fail. And this time, she had 2 options. The rejuvenation pill and the foundation establishment pill. She could casually pick either one, and still pass the second-rank exam with ease. 10 out of 10. Yue Zhao fell silent again. He didn't want to believe it. But after spending time with little junior sister, even though she liked to show off, she never spoke empty words. Even if it sounded absurd, she always did what she said she would. Is she really going to become a second-rank alchemist?
I was originally going to go to the market tomorrow. But now, I think something came up.
Yue Zhao looked at Lin Ya.
Master, you seem pretty free. How about?
No. I have very important matters. I won't have time at all these next few days.
Lin Ya stood up and bolted out of the room without even giving them a chance to ask. Yue Zhao. Hey. He turned to Si Wanning. Second junior sister, don't you love going to the market? Since Xiaojin needs to go too, you can go together. Si Wanning shivered. Yes. She loved going to the market. If it was with anyone other than little junior sister, that'd be fine. But if it was with Yunjin, she was afraid she would get dragged into things, and get beaten up together.
No. Eldest senior brother, I've been focusing on cultivation and self-discipline. I absolutely will not go out.
Si Wanning reluctantly gave Gungun a final stroke and slipped away. Yue Zhao looked hopeless. Finally, he turned to Yu Songnian too late. The spot where third junior brother had been was long since empty.
Eldest senior brother?
Yunjin said sweetly, smiling at Yue Zhao.
I know you go the market every day. Let's go together tomorrow?
Yue Zhao's lips trembled as he nodded with difficulty. Clinging to a faint hope, he asked.
Tomorrow, can we keep a low profile?
Low profile?
Yunjin looked shocked.
Senior brother, how can you have such a terrifying thought? In the future, just erase the words low profile from your brain, okay? Speaking of which, you reminded me. Tomorrow, we'll go early and ask Pavilion Master Qin to help spread the word. Tomorrow, the scene must be even bigger than last time.
Last time it was too rushed, they didn't manage to gather the whole market. This time, the goal was to not miss a single person. Yue Zhao stared at Yunjing in numb silence. He was thinking, if he suddenly broke his own legs, maybe he wouldn't have to go. Yue Zhao left in a daze. He began to wonder if he really was going to get beaten tomorrow. Should he bring a helmet? Something like Iron Man. Would that be too advanced for a cultivation world? The people of Heavenly Sword Peak dispersed. Yunjing finally had the chance to deal with Gu Jinghong. She immediately called him in. Chapter 68. Iron-Eating Beast. Trio's Mount. Gu Jinghong stood stiffly, his body straight and rigid in front of Yunjing. Yunjing glanced at him with some distaste.
Seeing your master, and you can't even manage a smile.
Jinghong. He forced out a smile with great effort, yet it looked even more miserable than crying. Yunjing was directly stunned by how ugly it was. She curled her lip, then scooped the iron-eating beast into her arms.
See this? This is Guangguan. For the next 3 months your main job is to serve it. If it's ever unhappy or uncomfortable in any way, I'll hold you accountable.
Guangguan's eyes lit up. What? Master Iron-Eating Beast now even has a personal servant. He definitely picked the right master. Guangguan sized up Gu Jinghong, his gaze full of judgment. Heh. So this is the future servant of Lord Guangguan. So skinny. Who knows if he even has strength.
Guangguan, remember this. Although he is our servant in name.
Yunjing began. Guangguan blinked, feeling a little disappointed. Oh, master must be saying not to make things too difficult for him.
But in practice, you don't need to treat him like a person. Do whatever you want with him?
He Yunjing said. Guangguan's eyes lit up instantly. There's actually such a good thing. Gu Jinghong. Hey. He really wanted to run. But he couldn't.
You're complaining about me in your heart, aren't you?
Yunjing unceremoniously activated a sliver of the contract's power. Gu Jinghong's expression changed. His whole body instantly trembled. After delivering a bit of punishment, Yunjing said coldly.
Remember, with the master-servant contract in place, I can immediately sense any dissatisfaction you feel toward me. A servant who disrespects their master will be struck by divine punishment. Understand?
What divine punishment? It's clearly you who used the contract's power. But Gu Jinghong didn't dare to feel dissatisfied. Not even in his thoughts. He could only silently nod. But he couldn't vent his inner frustration. So Gu Jinghong started cursing Ye Danxia in his heart. If not for Ye Danxia, he wouldn't be in such a miserable state. Cursing her now wasn't unjustified. Yunjing saw Gu Jinghong grinding his teeth, but didn't sense any backlash from the contract. So she let it go. She asked, Guangguan.
Guangguan, I'm going out tomorrow. Do you want to come with me, or stay here at the sect to supervise the servant?
Supervise the servant. Guangguan was instantly intrigued. As a little beast with Chunabayu, it had always dreamed of being the boss. In front of Yunjin, it wouldn't dare be arrogant. But it looked like master has a grudge against this servant. And now she is giving it permission to torment him, however it wants. Guangguan loves pulling pranks the most.
I'll stay and supervise him for you.
Guangguan shouted.
Master, even at night he can't slack off. I'll monitor him all night.
Guangguan was highly enthusiastic. Yunjin smiled and instructed Gu Jinghong.
Take good care of Guangguan. He needs milk at night and a bedtime story. If you don't serve him well and he gets upset, I'll skin you alive.
Guangguan eagerly jumped onto Gu Jinghong. Yunjin handed over all of Guangguan's things, packed in a storage pouch, to Gu Jinghong. For a moment, Gu Jinghong was even a little dazed. Yunjin seemed rather lenient toward him. Just taking care of a little beast. That didn't seem too bad. Gu Jinghong accepted the task, and even felt Yunjin was rather generous.
Mount, move out!
Guangguan lay on Gu Jinghong's shoulder and smacked his head. Although Gu Jinghong couldn't understand Guangguan's words, its meaning was very clear. He had no choice but to obediently carry the little master out. The disciples of Heavenly Sword Peak had already built a small bamboo hut near Yunjin's residence. Gu Jinghong moved in directly. Yunjin watched the pair's retreating figures. She smiled. This was only the first step. She had to let Gu Jinghong experience what kind of life she had in her previous life. Back then, if Ye Danxia cried, it was her fault. If Ye Danxia was sad, it was her fault. If Ye Danxia smiled at someone, and others got jealous, it was still her fault. She became a permanent scapegoat. Anything related to Ye Danxia was always her responsibility. In this life, let Gu Jinghong properly experience it. Gun, being a brat, might be even more troublesome than Ye Danxia. If Gun throws a tantrum, he'll get beaten. If Gun gets upset, he'll get beaten. If Gun is too happy, he'll still get beaten. It's time to let him learn what it felt like to constantly take the blame. Yunjin wasn't worried. Gu Jinghong would harm Gun. Gun is spiritually linked to her. If he suffered any harm, one thought from her could kill Gu Jinghong instantly. Although she promised not to take his life within these 3 months, if he dared to harm Gun, she wouldn't hold back. That night, Yunjin refined a few more batches of beating pills, and had Yue Zhao slowly sell them off. Then she looked at her system panel. Originally, the system only showed her information. Now, beneath her name, another entry had appeared for the iron-eating beast Gun.
Iron-eating beast. Gun. Mid-grade spirit beast level. C refining stage skills. Charge S level 1. Roars level 1.
Only 2 skills, and both were level 1. However, after being contracted, Gun could also use the system's simplification functions. Yunjin tried simplifying them. Charge became ram into a tree 100 times per day to rapidly increase mastery. Roar became roar 100 times per day to rapidly increase mastery. With that, Gun's skill levels should improve quickly. Yunjin remembered that beast-controlling cultivators could also bestow additional skills onto their spirit beasts. When the time came, she could learn how it works and give Gun some divine-level skills. Then again, even with these 2 basic skills, if trained consistently, should theoretically be able to reach divine level. At that time, Gun would unleash a divine-level charge and a divine-level roar. The scene imagined was beautiful. Yunjin had made up her mind. Starting tomorrow, she will begin supervising the iron-eating beast's skill training. But since it was a mischievous brat, she still needed to think of a way to get it to practice willingly. Yunjin checked Gun's status again, and suddenly noticed a hidden information button at the bottom of the data panel. She tried clicking on it. The system prompted her. Spend 10 simplification attempts to view the hidden information on Gun. Yunjin clicked without hesitation.
Iron-eating beast. Mid-grade spirit beast. Can reach divine grade upon bloodline awakening. In ancient times, there was a demon god named Chuyo. The ancestor of the iron-eating beast clan once served as Chuyo's mount, unmatched in bravery and peerless in battle. After Chuyo's defeat, the iron-eating beast clan vanished. When they reappeared, they had already degraded into mid-grade spirit beasts.
Yunjin's gaze flickered. She had seen this legend in other worlds before. But legends were full of uncertainties, so she didn't pay much attention. Now that this information was confirmed by the system, it meant that in this world, the iron-eating beast really did have such a glorious past. Chuyo's mount, an unmatched warrior. Without a doubt, her Gun would one day evolve to that level. Chapter 69. Is this what you call taking good care of it? Even dark circles showed up. The next day, Yunjin stretched lazily, full of energy. After reaching the foundation establishment, the need for sleep wasn't that great. Most cultivators were used to replacing sleep with meditation. But Yunjin really enjoyed the feeling of sleeping, and slept for several hours every day. Because Yunjin was always pulling strange stunts, her room was specially set up by Lin Ya with a soundproof and light-isolating barrier. While she didn't hear anything while inside the room, the moment she stepped out, she heard Gun's energetic howling. The little iron-eating beast was currently riding on Gu Jinghong like a horse, howling excitedly as he rode. In contrast, Gu Jinghong was exuding a hopeless aura of "I'm done. I'm exhausted from head to toe." No one knew what kind of torment he suffered. Yunjin watched for a moment, then frowned unhappily. She immediately walked over.
Gun.
The little iron-eating beast was having fun. But when he saw Yunjin's serious expression, he got a bit nervous.
Master, I just...
Just what?
Yunjin looked disappointed.
You're still a little kid. Sleep is very important for kids.
Not understanding what she meant, Gun tilted his head with a confused expression. Yunjin glared at Gu Jinghong.
I told you take good care of him. Is this what you call taking good care of it? Let me ask you, did you make sure you got proper rest last night?
Gu Jinghong pressed his lips together.
I what?
Ke Yunjin snapped somewhat overbearingly.
I don't want to hear your nonsense. Just answer me. How did he end up with dark circles after just one night?
Jinghong.
The iron-eating beast naturally has.
Has what?
Yunjin.
You're still trying to argue.
She directly activated the punishment from the contract. Gu Jinghong bit his lip in pain, trembling all over, and said with difficulty.
I was wrong.
Only then did Yunjin reluctantly stop. The little iron-eating beast's eyes sparkled with admiration. Whoa! There was actually someone even more unreasonable than him. This master, he definitely picked the right one. Seeing Gungun's gaze full of worship, Yunjin was worried it would pick up bad habits, so she said.
You remember how so many spirit beasts went into a frenzy and got injured? It was because he put beast-luring powder into your food. So I'm being unreasonable to punish him. But if it's toward others, you still need to be polite. Understand?
Jinghong. So you knew you were being unreasonable. Gungun's eyes widened. It looked angrily at Gu Jinghong. So it was him. All those spirit beasts getting hurt was because of this human. He almost got misunderstood by everyone because of this guy. He's a bad guy. A big bad guy. Looks like he didn't torment him enough. Gungun's eyes swirled with ideas, clearly scheming something. Yunjin didn't bother with it and said.
I'm heading out later, but before I go, I want to assign you a few tasks.
Tasks? Gungun immediately covered its ears with its paws. He only wants to play, not to do tasks. Yunjin directly pried its paws away and said seriously.
Your master is going to stand at the peak in the future. If you fall too far behind, I'll still spoil you and keep you. But when the time to fight comes, you won't be able to stand by my side. Gungun, think carefully. Do you want to stay as a little pet, or do you want to fight alongside me? If you choose to be a pet, then I won't assign you tasks anymore. But if you want to get stronger, I'll keep training you and help you grow stronger. Didn't you care a lot about your previous master abandoning you? Once you're strong, he'll regret it deeply. Otherwise, he'll only feel that abandoning you was the right decision.
Gungun was still just a child, playful and fond of pranks, and his mindset wasn't stable yet. Yunjin wanted to first see what he really wanted. She planned to raise him into a divine-grade battle beast, but if he didn't want it himself, she wouldn't force him. Gungun's eyes darted around, but when he heard about his previous master, he gritted his teeth.
I want to train.
He had to make his previous master regret it. Yunjin saw through Gungun's thoughts. Although the motivation to grow stronger wasn't exactly pure, he was just a child. As long as it served as guidance, that was good enough. Yunjin smiled.
Good, then let's train. Once you've mastered your skills, I'll take you to see him. When the time comes, you'll say to him, back then, you ignored me, but now I'm out of your league.
Gungun's eyes lit up. Back then, you ignored me. Now I'm out of your league. This line. Good, too good. It perfectly captured the journey of its emotional growth.
Master, I want to start training right now.
Gungun jumped off Gu Jinghong's back, suddenly becoming anxious.
Very good.
Jin said.
You currently have 2 basic skills. Charge and Roar. I have a chant here that can help spirit beasts learn skills faster. Wait for me to teach it to you, then recite it as you practice.
A chant, and it could speed up skill learning. Gu Jinghong, standing nearby, couldn't help but show a mocking expression. Skills that aided spirit beasts were mostly held by the beast-taming sect and its affiliated sects. Tianxing sect doesn't have that kind of secret technique. This Yunjin was probably making it up. But Gungun didn't know that. It nodded seriously, ready to listen to the chant. Yunjin took a deep breath and recited in a calm voice.
1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2.
Gungun. What? This chant seemed a bit different from what it had imagined. Yunjin quickly recited all the way to 9 times 9 is 81.
Alright, that's the chant. Did you memorize it?
Yunjin asked. Gungun blankly shook its head. Yunjin took out a sound recording stone and put it on loop.
Listen a few more times. Once you've memorized it, you can start.
Gungun didn't think much of it and earnestly began learning. Gu Jinghong couldn't help but feel amused. This Yunjin was clearly tricking a child, right? That chant absolutely had nothing to do with cultivation. If this could really help an iron-eating beast learn skills faster, he might as well commit suicide. Gungun quickly memorized the chant. Yunjin was very satisfied.
Let's first practice charge. The first step is to crash into trees, when practicing this skill, remember to chant the formula as you crash. After doing this 100 times, you'll notice everything will be different.
Yes.
Gungun answered without hesitation. That chant sounded amazing. He couldn't wait to try it. Yunjin said,
I'll teach you how to train roar when I come back. For today, just focus on charge, understand?
Understood.
Gungun fixed its eyes on a tree, already prepared to charge.
Take good care of Gunqun. If he ends up with dark circles again, I'll skin you alive.
Yunjin said sternly to Gu Jinghong. Gu Jinghong, you might as well just do it now. But he didn't dare say anything, he could only respond numbly. Yunjin watched the iron-eating beast practice for a while. When Yue Zhao arrived, she left with him. Gu Jinghong continued to supervise.
1 times 1 is 1.
Gungun shouted as it crashed into the tree. Oh, that hurt a bit. Not a big deal, let's keep going.
2 times 2 is 4.
Another charge. This time the tree trembled violently. Gu Jinghong couldn't help but sneer in his heart. Only a young spirit beast would believe such nonsense.